All right. Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you from India. It's a great pleasure to have you here with us today. My name is Shruti, and I will be a host for this session. So, we are going to wait for a few more minutes for a few more people to join in. All right, let's go into the session now. So, before starting the session, we would like to give you an overview of Showtime tools that you will be using throughout the session. We have a questions tab at the left panel where you can post your questions during the QA session that will be conducted later. We will also be rolling out a few polls. You can look at them in the polls tab. You can participate in the session by asking doubts and answering questions through the chat tab. Our colleagues will be monitoring it, so any questions you ask will be answered promptly. We also have a few resources for you to read at your leisure after this session. You can download them from the Hands Out tab. So, our topic for the session is increase brand awareness, accept payments, and grow your business with Zoho Forms. We have Swati here with us. She's a senior product marketing analyst, and me, of course. The QA session will be handled by our product support staff, Dilip. He'll be answering any product related questions you might have. And a product expert and trainer for the session is Arshia. Before we start, you have to make sure that you're signed into your Zoho account to mirror our actions and get some hands on experience with the product. Do not worry if you don't. This is a basic webinar that will help you get an overall view of how Zoho Forms can help your business concerning customization, branding, and payments as well. This session will be recorded and emailed to you so you can access it anytime. You might also need to have admin privileges to access certain features in Zoho Forms that Asha will be guiding you through today. Also, we would like you to create a test instance so that you can experiment with the product without altering your existing settings. So, if you have any questions before we start, you can post it in the questions tab and the chat tab. Meanwhile, I will be rolling out a few polls for you. These are some simple non technical polls that can help us understand how familiar you're with the product. So, the first one is, are you aware of the basic workings of Zoho Forms? Please vote, guys. All right, I saw many S's at the first, but I can see some no's too now. Great. You'll be learning a lot through the session. All right, I'll show the results to everyone if you all are done. So there are many S's, that's a good thing. And those of you who have voted for a no, I think you'll learn a great deal from this session. Great. And the second one is, before today's session, did you know that you could collect payments with Zoho Forms? So this is directly related to the event. All right, I can see what's coming in. Very good to see that most of you have knowledge with the payment collection feature of Zoho Forms. All right, great. I'll publish the results. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the participation. So we can see that most of you have worked with Zoho Forms and some experience with the payment collection feature. This is great. Thanks again. So moving on to the agenda, we have the initial part where the trainer will show you the customization and branding, payment and embed form features available at Zoho Forms. You will also get some hands-on experience with the product through some activities. At the end, we will have a recap before we wrap the session. So thanks for your patience and attention. That's it from me. I'm inviting our trainer for the day, Ashia, to take on the session. Ashia, please take the session forward.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today's session is Increase Brand Awareness, Accept Payments, and Grow Your Business with Zoho Forms. My name is Arshia, and I will be presenting this webinar. Today's session is packed with a lot of information, so I hope that you will enjoy it and find it useful. First on our agenda today, we will address a few features in Zoho Forms that help with customization and branding of your forms. We will demonstrate how you can design beautiful forms to suit your brand using the theme builder, use your organization's custom domain in form URLs, and make forms available for customers and clients speaking in different languages with the language translation feature. Once we've covered customization and branding, we will move on to how you can perform complex calculations with the formula field and conditional formula, and which will lead us on to how you can collect secure payments with our payment field. And finally, we will end this session by discussing how you can easily embed your forms into your website. So without further ado, let's get started and we'll jump right into customization and branding, beginning with our theme builder. Zoho Forms offers a dynamic theme builder, which you can use to give your forms visual appeal and to also correspond with your branding and websites. There are a lot of form design editing options available, but today we will only focus on a few key aspects of the theme builder, which can help you fine-tune your forms and make them cohesive with your branding and website, including adding logos and banners to carry through with that branding. So let's get into the theme builder. I've created, as you can see on your screen here, I've created a order form for you, a sample order form. And today we're going to explore the theme builder by designing this order form here. So to go into the theme builder, you need to click on themes. As you can see, we have a page that opens up where you can customize your form by going into the theme builder itself, or if you would like to choose from any of the pre-built themes that we have available here, you can just apply any of those themes and customize them further as well. We have many pre-built themes available for you. If you've created any themes that you would like to save, you can also do those here and save them under your My Themes, so that that particular theme or design that you have created will be saved under My Themes. Today, we're not going to use any of the pre-built themes. That would be too easy. We're going to look into the theme builder itself. So to do so, I'm going to click on Customize Form. And as you can see, the theme builder opens up. On the left-hand side, you can see all the options available under the theme builder. You can customize your form itself. If you have a subform field in your form, a subform field is a field that allows you to add variables into your forms. So repeating sections and variables, if you would like to add those, you can customize that. I have a subform created here, which I'm circling with my mouse. If your form has multiple pages, you can use this page option here to customize all those pages. Our form is a single page form, so we don't need to look into that today. And finally, you can customize your thank you page as well. The thank you page is what your respondents see once their form has been successfully submitted. So we're going to go into form. And first, let's start off with the basics. Under wallpaper here, we can customize the background color. I'll just put in some random color for you to see how it looks. You can also try out different patterns onto your background. Or if you would not like to go with the color, you can also choose to upload an image or to upload an image from Unsplash. We have partnered with Unsplash to give you thousands of free high resolution images that you can use within your forms. Now that we've dealt with the wallpaper and the background of our form, we can move on to the next thing, which is our banner. Here you can customize your form to add in a little bit of your branding as well. I'm going to upload an image today. I have this sample t-shirts logo image. So I'll add that in as a banner to my form. And you can align this as left, right, or center as well. Once you're happy with that, we can move on to the next thing, which is our form container and header is what I'm going to focus on next. So let's start off with the header. You can customize your form header, which is this part of your form where your form's title is. You can change up the background color. You can also add a background, you can also add a border, for example. Here you go. I've added a little border there. And change up the opacity of that border. You can round out the edges as well. And change the font of your form's title. As you can see, font gets changed up. And this is a very important part of your branding. You can upload your logo into your form's header. So I have a sample logo with us today, and I'm going to upload that into my form's header. Now this is very big, so I'm going to change up the size of my logo. and I'm going to place it on the right. You can align your logo wherever you want. You can also change up the size. So once you're happy with that, you can do similar things to different parts of your form. For example, you can change up your form's container. Your form's container is the main body of your form. For example, you can change up the background color of your form's container. As you can see, it changes there. You can also add shadows to your form container. I'll change up the color so you can see it clearer. You can blur it out and spread out the shadow as much as you'd like. Like so. Apart from that, you can also change your submit buttons. So if I scroll down here, this button here, my place order button, I can change that as well. I can change up the background, add a border to it. For example, there you go. I can change up the edges of my button, my submit button or save button, the font of the text inside it, its alignment, spacing, and so much more. So the best way to explore our theme builder is for you to just go into it and try it out and mess around with it as much as you'd like. It's quite fun to do actually. So with this, we're just going to stop here because we've created quite a pink form today. And I'll give you a minute to try out the theme builder yourself or to just have a look at it. Now to go into your theme builder, you just need to click onto the themes option available in your form builder. When you click on the customize form option, your theme builder opens up. You can also choose from the pre-built and pre-designed themes that we have available and customize them according to your own needs. You can add your logos, your banner. You can change up fonts of your field body of your field and your form headers. You can change up the backgrounds and add images as well. And once you're happy with it, you simply need to click on apply theme and your theme gets saved. The apply theme option is on the top right hand corner here. I didn't show that to you earlier. So if I'd like to save my theme here, I'm just going to click on the apply option and my theme gets saved. If you'd like to view how your form looks like live, you just need to close this here and you can see how your form will look like. All right, I hope that was enough time for you to have a brief look at your theme builder. You can also try it out at your own time. We have a great support team to help you if you come up with any hiccups. And we also have a wealth of information present in our help pages to help you throughout the way. So next, we'll move on to the next topic for today, which is custom domain. So carrying through the branding by using custom domains. Custom domains are used to showcase your organization's brand in the form URLs shared to your respondents. They can help increase the number of responses to your forms and also ensure professionalism in your forms and of your organization. We will briefly go over how you can add a custom domain to your account and use it in your form URLs. But please note that before adding a custom domain to your forms, you must buy and register a domain or a subdomain for your organization. You must create a CNAME record in your domain provider and use the CNAME record to map your domain or subdomain to the host name forms.cs.zohohost.com. So once you've done that, we can move on to the first step, which is adding a custom domain into your Zoho Forms account with the help of the control panel. Since we need quite a few permissions to add a custom domain into an account, I'm going to show you a demo video today. So to add your custom domain, you need to log in first of all as a super admin into your account, and then go into the custom domain, and then move into the control panel icon you can see on the top right hand corner. You click on that and your control panel opens up, and you have a lot of options available within your control panel. But under the customization option, you will find custom domains available. When you go into custom domain, you will see the option to add a new domain. You simply need to type in your domain name and add it in. So the status of your domain name will be given as pending, and once the SSL certificate is processed for your domain, you will receive a confirmation email in 3 to 5 days. Once confirmed, your domain status will be changed to verified or approved. So I'll repeat that again. So to add a custom domain into your Forms account via the control panel, you first need to log into your account as a super admin. Go into the control panel using that icon on top right-hand corner. Under customization, you will find custom domain. You can add in your new domain by just typing in the name of your typing in the custom domain and clicking on add. And the status will be shown as pending. Once the SSL verification is processed within 3 to 5 days, it will be approved, and you can move on to your next step, which is adding your custom domain into a form URL. So to add your custom domain now into your form URL, you've already added it into your control panel. So you just simply need to go into settings. And when you scroll down, you'll find advanced settings where you have the option to add a custom domain. If your domain has been verified and approved, it will be listed in this option over here. As you can see in the video, you click on your domain and click on save. Now, how do you know that your domain has been successfully added into your form URL? You simply need to go into the Share tab there on top. When you go into the Share tab, as you can see, your custom domain has been added into the form permalink URL. The custom domain that we chose was support.zilkerhotels.com, and that's been successfully added into the URL. So I'll repeat this step once again. If you'd like to insert your custom domain into a form URL, you need to go into advanced settings. Your custom domain will be listed there. Select whichever custom domain you want to use for your particular form and click on save. When you go into the share option, under the form permalink URL, you'll be able to see your domain name written. Please note that custom domains can only be used for public forms. So with that, we've briefly gone over custom domains and how you can add them into your form URL and make your forms appear much more professional with your custom domains in them. So we move on to the next part of our customization and branding, which is forms language translations. So you can customize your form by translating them to your preferred language. There are 15 languages apart from English available for your forms to be translated into. So you don't need to worry about language being a barrier for you to connect with your respondents and customers. Using this option, you can share your forms in multiple languages, allowing respondents across the globe to understand the questions in their native language and respond appropriately. Now, please note that you can configure up to a maximum of 10 languages per forms, and your forms can be accessed with those languages, and I'll show you how. So first up, I'll show you how you can translate your form with this hands-on with language translation. So I'm going to close the theme builder here and go back into my form. To translate my form into different languages, I need to go into settings. Under settings here on the left, I have my language translation option. When I go into the language translation option, I have the form language that it's already in, which is English, and I can translate it into any language that I want. So today I'm just going to click Italian. And once you click on translate, this pop-up here appears. Now you can translate the form. Now you can see the translated form content here. We can see all the field content which has been translated. The acknowledgement content, which is your thank you page, and the custom messages. Now, what is special about these tabs here is that you can manually adjust the translations as well and customize them according to your needs. Once you're happy with your translation, you click on next and you can save. So I already have this form translated into a couple of languages. If I want to make further changes, I simply need to click on my edit button here and I can, that pop-up opens up again and I can edit my translation manually. Or if I don't need a translation anymore, I can delete it. Now, how do you share your form in the translated language that you have chosen? You simply need to go into your Share tab. And in the form permalink URL here, you need to select the language that you would like to share your form in this drop-down menu on the top right-hand corner. Similarly, even when you're embedding your form into your website, you can see on the top right-hand corner, you have the option to embed it in whichever language that you would like. You can also share your forms, your translated form publicly via social media, in Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, using any of these icons present here. All right, so I'll give you a minute to try out language translation yourself. So to translate your translate your form into different languages, I'll repeat the steps again. You need to go into settings and you have the language translation option here. You simply need to select the language that you want your form to be translated into and click on translate. You can also manually edit the translations and customize them to your needs. And once you're happy, you can click on save. Share your form in the selected language that you've translated into. In the share publicly option, you will find on the top right hand corner all the languages that your forms have been translated into. This particular form has been translated into, and you can select the language that you'd like to share it with. You can also share your translated form via social media, and you can also embed them into your web pages. So I hope that was enough time for you to try out language translation. With that, we have covered customization and branding, which is the first half of our webinar today. And next we'll move on to trying out the formula field and conditional formula in our forms. So I'm going back to the same order form today. You will find your formula field in the advanced fields option here. So to assign values, so to apply a formula to your form first, you need to assign values to your products. For today's example, we will be applying a formula to calculate the payment values in an order form that I've created today. So I'm just going to create a formula so I can get a total value for my checkout for my customers. So to do so, I need to add in a formula into my form. But before I add in the formula field, I'm first going to assign values to my products. So these are my products. I have the red shirt, blue shirt, and green shirt available. I'm going to assign values to that. And to do so, I'm going to go into field properties. And when the properties open up, in the advanced drop-down option, I'm going to click on assign values. As you can see, I've already assigned values to my t-shirts here. Once you're happy with your values, you click on the assign values option and click save. Similarly, I have chosen the number of items that can be selected, and I'm going to assign values to those as well. So here you go. I've assigned values here. And I'm just going to click save. Now to calculate the total value of my order or my customer's order, the formula that I'm going to apply is going to be the item name into the number of items. So here we go. I'm just going to apply a formula here. So to calculate the total, as I mentioned before, my formula is going to be an item name into the number of items. So with the help of the values that we assigned earlier, our form using this formula field will calculate the total value of my order. And as you can see, we have all the options available here and all the different functions that you can use your formula field for. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to click save. And I'm going to add my field. All right. Next, now that we've looked at the formula field itself, we're going to look at the conditional formula, which is a part of our formula field. Now, the conditional formula set up in Zoho Forms allows you to configure your form to perform certain calculations based on your user's answers. Now, these predefined conditions are simple to set up, and they will tailor your form to your user's needs. A simple example of this would be to apply discounts to selected products using conditional rules and formulae, excuse me. Now today I've already set up another formula field here where I'll show you how I did a conditional formula to my order form here. So I wanted my conditional formula to be that if the number of items my customer selects is 5, that is, if they choose to buy 5 t-shirts, they get a 30% discount on their entire order. So as you can see, I've set up a rule here stating that if all the conditions are met, you can choose to have your conditions set up as any or all. And then I added in my condition here, which is the number of items is 5, and I added a 30% discount formula here. So if my customer buys 5 t-shirts, they'll get a 30% discount on their entire order. Now, what if they don't want to buy 5 t-shirts and they want to buy 1 or 2 or 3 t-shirts? Now for that, I've created an else formula that is to be performed if this rule here is not met, where just the total of their order is calculated without the discount. That is the item name into the number of items. So my conditional formula here is that if my customer buys 5 t-shirts, they're going to get a 30% discount. And if they buy any lesser than that, then just their total is going to be calculated at checkout. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to create save. I'm going to click on save. And my conditional formula is saved. So with the help of the conditional formula, you can do certain things like adding discounts to your orders and so much more. So with this, we've had a brief, very, very brief look at the formula field and the conditional formula. The best way to check out the formula field is to try it out for yourself and access your form and see if it works. So now I'm just going to try accessing my form, and I'll show you how my formula field, the conditions that I set up, are going to reflect in my checkout. So I'm selecting a red shirt, 1. So let me see. So my total here is $10. Now, if I select 5 of these, my total changes to 35, which is with the 30% discount applied to my order. So this is how we can use the conditional formula and the formula field itself to calculate your checkout and to do many more things within your form. So now that we've explored our formula field, we can move on to the next part, which is actually almost like an adjacent feature of our formula field, which is the payment options, the payment field that allows you to collect secure payments. Now you can allow respondents to send payments for orders, registrations, and donations through secure payment gateways via our integrations with these gateways. Zoho Forms supports third-party payment merchants, including PayPal, Stripe, Razorpay, and more, to make the payment process safe and easy for both users and their customers. The payment portals available as of now are as shown on your screen. We have PayPal, Razorpay, Authorize.net, and so many more. You can pre-select the currency of your choice in your payment settings. Zoho Forms offers over 20 currencies for you to choose from, so you can run your business from wherever you are located. Set up automatic workflows to activate after a successful payment. You can process approvals, send email confirmations or SMS notifications to customers or your teammates, trigger integrations, as well as set workflows configured using form rules, all by simply ticking a checkbox. This is the checkbox as seen on the screen here. So by ticking on that simple checkbox, you can automate a lot of workflows when your payment is successful. Now you can set up payments of fixed amount and modified amount within Zoho Forms. For example, an example of modified amount where it would be useful would be for charities, where the range of amount where you can collect from your patrons, you can choose from. All the formulae and conditional formulae that have been configured get added in during payment when the autofill payment option is also selected. So we've had a brief look at our payment field. So let's try a hands-on of our payment field. And to do so, I'm going to go back into the order form that I created today. And as you can see, I've added a payment field here. So when you click on the payment field option, your field properties opens up. You can change up the field label and select the payment type. Today we're going for fixed amount. You can select your payment gateway. We have multiple gateways you can choose from. Today I've just put in PayPal. You can also add in Stripe, Razorpay, and so many more. Here you go. You can select from any of these. And since we have a formula field set up to calculate our total at checkout, I'm going to click on the option autofill from form field, and I'm going to select my formula field, which I've added in here from this drop down. If I select a fixed value, I can simply type in the fixed value, and that is what will be shown at checkout for all your customers. I can also change up the currency. We have 20 plus currencies to choose from. And add in my PayPal account or my email address. As you can see here under the workflow option, I can process approvals, emails, SMS, push notifications, and rules and integrations, etc. upon successful payment. So once I'm happy with how my payment field set up, I'm going to click on Save. And as you saw earlier, my checkout value will be shown up in the payment field when I access my form. So for example, if I click on green t-shirt and 4 of those in size medium, when I click on my checkout option, my total gets calculated here. And when I go into place order, I will be able to make my payment and successfully submit my order form. So I hope that was a good look into conditional formula and the formula field, as well as the payment field and how you can use it in your own order forms, your donation and registration forms, and so many more. So now we'll move on to the last topic in our presentation, in our webinar today, which is embedding our forms into our websites. So to embed your form into your website, you simply need to go into whichever form that you want to embed into your website. I have a simple room reservation form present today to be embedded into my website. So I'm going to go into Share. And I have the option of embedding my form into my website available here, where I can choose from iframes, JavaScript, hyperlink, QR code, and so many more to embed my form. I can also select the language that I've translated my form into to be embedded in. In this form, I have not selected any language, so it doesn't show up. But if you remember, we translated our previous form, the order form. So when you have a look at that, you have all the language translations available here. So if you click on any of the language translated language that you'd like your form to be embedded into, that gets added into your form permalink here, your iframe code here. And your form will be embedded in that language. So to embed your form, you simply need to copy your iframe code and then paste it into the website or web page that you have created. So I have a sample web page here, a sample website which I've created here using Zoho sites. And to go, I want to embed my form, into the make my reservation page here. So to do so, I'm just going to paste my iframe code and click on OK, and my form gets embedded. If I want to change the way my form looks, the width and the height of it, and how much of it is shown and how much I need to scroll to see, I simply need to edit my iframe code. And I've edited it to 2000 height and width as 100%. So once I'm happy with that, I click on OK, and my form has been embedded into my website. So that is usually how you can embed your forms into your website using iframe code and the other codes as well. Your website builders will have this option available, and I've tried this out using Zoho sites. So with this, we've had a look at how you can embed your forms publicly into your websites or specific web pages. And now we have covered all the topics under our webinar today, where we've gone over customization and branding, and we've had a look at conditional formula and payment options, as well as how you can embed your form publicly into your web page or website. With this, I will end my session here today, and I will hand it over to Shruti. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you found this session incredibly useful, and I hope that you will join us again for future sessions to come.
Thank you so much, Ashia. We can all agree that the session was fantastic. We hope you found this session very useful. And as we mentioned earlier, we have a product support staff here to answer your questions. So, any questions you might have in the session or Zogo forms in general, do not hesitate to shoot it in the questions tab. You can find it on the left panel. And the third poll for the. Am I audible, guys? And the third poll for the day is: how likely are you to recommend Zoho Forms to someone else? Please let us know your love for us. It motivates us to do better. All right, let me show the results quickly. And the next poll is, what percentage of information was new to you? So, this is an open ended question. You can take your time to answer it. This is going to be here for a while. Thanks for the answers. And let me quickly move on to the last poll for the day. What do you look for the most when subscribing to a data collection platform? This is again an open ended question. This is going to be here for a while, so you can answer it at leisure. Let's move on to the recap now. So, we learned about business customization and branding with Zoho Forms and moved on to formula field and payment workflows in the product, which led to some hands on experience. Post that, we went over conditional formulae and their uses, and then we landed at our QA session. If you have any queries or doubts while using the product later, drop us an email at support@zohoforms.com. We are available 24 bar 5. You can also share your testimonials and feedback at support@zohocorp.com. Your opinions will be considered and followed. So we have reached the end of the session. On behalf of Zoho and our team, I thank everyone for joining this session and making it a success. Thank you so much for the enthusiastic participation in the polls and the QA sessions. Stay safe, take care, and I hope to meet you all soon. Thanks, guys. And the session was recorded, and the recording will be sent to every one of you, every one of the registrants. So check out for your the email.